You will never outperform the way you see yourself. I don't care how much talent you got. I don't care how many degrees you earn, how much hustle you put in. If you still see yourself as broken, unworthy, not enough, then that is the thermostat of your life. I need you to hear me today, because this is not just motivation, this is education. This is transformation. How you see you determines how you be you. 1. Your identity drives your habits, the reason you keep quitting. The reason you keep shrinking, keep backing down, it's not your willpower, it's your identity. You keep trying to fix your habits, but you ain't fixed your self-image. You're trying to run a marathon with a mindset built for survival. You still calling yourself lazy, a failure, a quitter, then even your success will feel like fraud. You have to change your internal definition before you can walk in external domination. 2. You are not your past. You got people still living in the old version of you. And guess what? So are you. You still letting a mistake from 2015 define you in 2025. You still letting your upbringing determine your future. Stop right there. You are not the sum of your failures. You are the sum of what you choose to believe about yourself every day. You need to start labeling yourself with truth, not trauma. 3. Repetition rewrites reality. Change don't come by feeling it. Change comes by doing it until it becomes who you are. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. You get up every morning, you tell yourself, I'm disciplined, I'm focused, I'm chosen, I'm worthy. Say it so much that the old you can't even recognize the new you. The mirror should show your future, not your fears. 4. Get in rooms that challenge your reflection. If you keep hanging with people who only know the old you, guess what? They'll keep pulling you back to it. You need people who see more in you than you see in yourself. You need environments that stretch you, not shrink you, because you cannot level up in a room that settles. 5. Vision is the blueprint. You don't just need goals. You need vision. You need to see yourself as the one. Before the money, before the title, before the spotlight, when David faced Goliath, he didn't see a giant. He saw a win. You got to look at your life and say, I already know how this ends. Why? Because I see not with my eyes, with my heart, with my belief, with my mindset. 6. Decide to become your one decision away from a new you. Not a new job, not a new relationship, not a new city, a new you. Change is not a moment, it's a movement. A movement that starts when you say, I'm done seeing myself as less. I'm done playing small. I'm done waiting for validation. I see me, I believe in me, and starting today, I'm going to live like it. Final word, educational call to action class is in session. But this ain't about textbooks. This is about you becoming the author of your life. Change the way you see yourself, and you change the trajectory of your entire future. Let the world adjust to the new you, because you're not showing up as average anymore. You're showing up as aligned. Let me know if you want a voiceover script, video format, or social media snippet for this. You said expand the first, keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 500 words, ChatGPT said, absolutely. Here's an expanded version of the first keynote, crafted in Eric Thomas's motivational and educational style. Up to 500 words. Listen to me. You will never outperform the way you see yourself. You just won't. I don't care how many goals you write down, how many affirmations you say in the mirror, or how many motivational videos you watch. If deep down in your core you don't believe you deserve success, you will self-sabotage every time you get close to it. That's not theory, that's real. That's psychology, that's spiritual, that's practical. You will always pull yourself back to what feels familiar. You will always behave like the person you think you are, not the person you're trying to become. That's why so many people get started and then fall off. That's why you do good for a few weeks and then disappear on yourself. You're not lazy, you're not weak. You're just carrying an identity that was never meant to take you where you're going. You're trying to build a champion lifestyle while still thinking like a victim. You're trying to operate with confidence while still walking around with a broken self-image, and those two don't mix, they cancel each other out. You want to know why your habits keep failing. It's not because you don't have the tools. It's because you don't believe you're the kind of person who finishes. That identity is running in the background like software, and no matter what actions you take, that identity will keep pulling you back like gravity. Every time you start to rise, that old belief whispers, "Who do you think you are?" And if you don't deal with that voice, if you don't change that script, then the actions will never stick. This is why I'm telling you today, stop working on the behavior before you work on the belief. Identity comes first. You've got to wake up and decide who you are before you move a muscle, before you hit the gym, before you make the call, before you write the plan. Because once your identity aligns with your vision, everything else becomes automatic. You won't need motivation when you know who you are. When you've declared, "I'm disciplined," you'll act disciplined. When you say, "I'm a finisher," you'll finish what you start. That's why some people can get knocked down and bounce back like it's nothing, because their identity is solid. Their vision of themselves is so strong that a loss doesn't define them. A failure doesn't stop them. It doesn't even shake them. They don't win because they're lucky. They win because they believe it's who they are. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to look yourself in the mirror and see more than your history. You've got to see your destiny. You've got to start seeing the version of you that doesn't shrink in the face of difficulty. You've got to rewrite your story, not someday, today. Because the moment you change the way you see yourself, you change what becomes possible. Let me know if you'd like this voiced, video formatted, or turned into a script for YouTube or TikTok. You said expand the sext. Keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 500 words. ChatGPT said, absolutely. Here's a 500-word expansion of the second keynote, written in the inspired voice and style of Eric Thomas. You are not your past. Let me say it again for the people in the back who didn't catch it. You are not your past. I know they told you that your mistakes define you. I know they labeled you when you were young, when you were struggling, when you were just trying to survive. Maybe you were called lazy, dumb, difficult, broken. Maybe they told you you'd never make it out. Maybe the streets raised you. Maybe the system failed you. Maybe even your own family gave up on you. But I'm telling you right now, your history is not your identity. You are not what you did. You are what you choose to become. So stop living like you're still in chains. Stop thinking like a prisoner when the door's already open. You don't live there anymore. That old version of you, the one who quit, the one who made mistakes, the one who didn't believe, they're gone. And even if they try to come back, you've got the power to say, not today. That's not me anymore. The problem is, some of you keep dragging that old self into your new season. You're trying to build a future while babysitting your past. You're trying to level up, but every time you take a step forward, you remind yourself of who you used to be. You disqualify yourself from opportunities, relationships, and blessings because you still see yourself through the lens of your failures. But hear me, it's time to take those old labels off, rip them off like a price tag. Because those labels weren't about truth, they were about trauma. Just because it was spoken over you doesn't mean it belongs to you. Just because it happened to you doesn't mean it has to define you. The enemy of your future is not your environment. It's your attachment to the old you, and I get it. It's hard. It's hard to believe you can be more when all you've ever been is less. It's hard to break cycles when those cycles raised you. But this is not about easy. This is about necessary. You can't walk in greatness while holding hands with guilt. You can't wear a crown while carrying shame. So what do you have to do? You have to forgive yourself. You have to release yourself. You have to speak to your own soul and say, that chapter is closed. I'm writing a new one now. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm here to challenge you. The only thing keeping you tied to your old life is the belief that you still belong to it. But you don't. You've got the power to change, not just your habits, not just your results, but your identity. And when you finally believe that the past can't hold you, You'll step into a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. Because you're not what you've been through. You're what you decide to become from this moment forward. Ready for the next one. Let me know if you want it formatted for video or narrated. You said, expand the thirst. Keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 500 words, ChatGPT said. Absolutely. Here's a 500-word expansion of the third keynote in the educational and motivational style inspired by Eric Thomas. Change doesn't start with emotion. Change doesn't even start with desire. Real, lasting transformation starts with repetition. Hear me. You don't become disciplined by accident. You don't wake up one day and suddenly believe in yourself. You don't build confidence in the moment. It's built daily by what you keep telling yourself and what you keep doing when nobody's watching. You've been feeding your mind the wrong story for too long. I can't do this. I always mess up. I'm not good enough. You keep repeating those things, and guess what? Your brain believes you. Your actions line up with that narrative. Your habits confirm the identity you've rehearsed. But if you want to change your life, you've got to change the script. You want to be great. Then you've got to say great things about yourself to yourself on repeat. Not once. Not when you're feeling good. Not when it's convenient. Every single day, repetition is the key that unlocks the new you. You can't reprogram a lifetime of self. Doubt with one weekend of motivation. It's going to take some time. It's going to take consistency, but if you stay with it, it will work, because the mind responds to frequency, not just intensity. You look in the mirror and say, I'm focused, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I finish what I start. You say it until it doesn't feel weird anymore. You say it until it becomes your default setting. You say it until it feels like home, and don't just speak it, live it, because repetition isn't just about words, it's about habits. Every day you show up early. Every day you finish that workout. Every day you study when it's hard. You're voting for the future you. You're casting a ballot for the identity you're building. And eventually, you're not forcing it anymore. You're flowing in it. You're not pretending to be disciplined, you are. You're not acting confident, you've become it. But the problem is, most people quit too early. They speak life over themselves for 3 days and expect a transformation. They do the work for 2 weeks and don't see results, so they fall back into old patterns. That's not how it works. You've got to commit to the long game. You've got to retrain your mind like you're retraining a muscle. It will be sore, it will be slow, but if you keep lifting that belief, it will grow. So I need you to make this shift today. Stop chasing moments and start mastering repetition. Stop looking for instant results and start building permanent change. Because the you you're becoming is already inside of you. You just haven't done the reps to let them out yet. Speak it, do it, repeat it until it becomes real. Let me know if you'd like this adapted for video script, podcast voiceover, or social content. Ready for the next keynote when you are. You said, expand the forced. Keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 500 words, ChatGPT said. Absolutely. Here's a 500-word expansion of the fourth keynote, written in the educational and passionate style inspired by Eric Thomas. Let me tell you something real. Your environment is either feeding your future or feeding your fear. You can't talk about changing your life while staying around the same people, the same patterns, the same conversations that shaped your old self. Some of you are trying to grow in a space that's designed to keep you small. You're trying to act like a lion in a cage built for house cats. That's why it feels like every time you take 1 step forward, you get pulled 2 steps back. It's not always the enemy, it's your environment. You've got to get in rooms that reflect who you're becoming, not who you've been. Listen, if you're always the smartest, most driven, most ambitious person in the circle, you're in the wrong circle. Growth doesn't come from being comfortable. Growth comes when you feel like the smallest one in the room. And instead of shrinking, you rise. You start leveling up not because someone told you to, but because the standard around you demands it. You need people who won't let you settle. People who don't just clap for your progress, but challenge you for your potential. I'm talking about iron sharpening iron. People who will check you when you're slipping. People who see more in you than you see in yourself and won't stop until you believe it too. That's what champions do for each other, but let's be honest, it's hard. It's hard to walk away from comfort. It's hard to outgrow people you love. It's hard to step into rooms where nobody knows your name, but hear me, comfort is the enemy of growth. If you keep choosing what's familiar, you'll keep getting what's average. And I know you weren't born to be average. You've got to make a decision. Do you want to be liked, or do you want to be legendary? Because those two rarely come together. You might lose some people when you raise your standard. That's okay. Not everyone is supposed to go where you're headed. Let them stay where they are. You've got places to go, levels to reach, and legacy to build. So take inventory. Who in your life challenges your thinking? Who stretches your faith? Who holds you accountable to the vision you say you want? If you can't name them, it's time to find them. Get in mentorships, join masterminds, plug into communities where elevation is normal, where discipline is expected, where excuses aren't welcome because proximity is power. You hang around excellence long enough, you'll start becoming excellent. You stay around average, you'll start making peace with mediocrity. And I don't know about you, but I didn't come this far just to settle. I didn't survive what I survived just to blend in. I'm building something, and I need to be around people who build too. So get in the room. Stay in the room and grow into the person you were born to be. Let me know if you want this adapted for audio, video, or visual storytelling. Ready for Keynote #5 when you are, you said. Expand the fifth. Keynote without headings and intro of Keynote up to 500 words, ChatGPT said. Absolutely. Here's a 500-word expansion of the fifth keynote in the style of Eric Thomas. Educational, empowering, and intense. You want to change your life. You've got to change what you see, not just with your eyes, but with your vision. Too many people are living by sight, not by purpose. They're letting what's in front of them define what's inside of them. You see the bills, the stress, the failure, the rejection, and you start believing that's all there is. But I came to tell you, what USC can't be louder than what you believe. Vision is different from sight. Sight sees what is, vision sees what can be. Sight is limited to your circumstances. Vision is unlimited by your faith. If you're going to become everything you were born to be, you've got to develop a vision that's so clear, so loud, so powerful that it drowns out the noise of doubt, struggle, and fear. You've got to see yourself winning when nobody else sees it. You've got to picture yourself walking across that stage, launching that business, breaking that cycle. Before it happens. Why? Because your life will always move in the direction of your strongest vision. If all you can see is pain, that's where you'll stay. But if you can see purpose in the pain, progress in the process, you'll keep going when everybody else gives up. This ain't just motivation. This is mental training. This is what champions do. They don't wait for the results to believe. They believe first, then create the results. They don't need permission to dream. They give themselves authority to build what doesn't exist yet. When the odds are against them, when the statistics say no, when the world says, be realistic, they say, watch me, that kind of vision will cost you, it will make you look crazy, it will make you walk alone sometimes, because people who can't see what you see will always try to limit what you do. That's why you can't share your dreams with everybody. Some people will project their fears onto your future. You've got to protect your vision like it's your life, because it is. You've got to write it down, speak it every day, visualize it every morning, not just the goal, but the feeling, the way it's going to feel to walk in your purpose, to live in freedom, to show your family what breakthrough looks like. You've got to make that vision louder than your surroundings, louder than your bank account, louder than your insecurities. This is how you change, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. Because once the vision is locked in, the discipline follows. The decisions line up, the distractions lose their power, you stop asking, can I, and start declaring, I will. Don't wait for someone to give you the green light. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Start seeing it now. Start becoming it now. Because if you can hold the vision long enough, your reality will have no choice but to catch up. Let me know if you'd like this one visualized for a video or transformed into a script. Ready for the 6th keynote when you are. You said, expand the 6th keynote without headings and intro of keynote up to 500 words, ChatGPT said, absolutely. Here's a 500-word expansion of the 6th keynote, delivered in the passionate, educational tone inspired by Eric Thomas. You don't get in life what you wish for. You get what you're willing to work for over time in silence when no one's clapping. The problem isn't that people don't have dreams. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got something they want to do. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple: consistency. Not talent, not connections, not even luck. It's what you do daily, not what you do occasionally, that determines your destiny. Listen to me. You cannot build a strong life with weak habits. You can't talk about greatness while doing average things. You can't expect growth when your actions don't match your ambition. People want the rewards, but they don't want the routine. They want the spotlight, but they don't want the shadows. But the truth is, what you do when no one is watching is what shows up when everyone is. Success is never an event. It's a result of repetition, of structure, of showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, when the motivation is gone. Motivation is good, but motivation fades. Consistency stays. Consistency is what gets you up when your feelings say stay down. Consistency is what keeps you on track when your results aren't showing yet, and that's where most people fall off. They're all in for a week, all in for a month, but when life hits, when the emotion dies, they disappear. But I'm telling you today, you've got to stay. You've got to stay in the gym, stay in the Word, stay in the grind, stay in your routine, even when it's not sexy, even when nobody's texting you good job. Why? Because that consistency is shaping your identity. Every rep is casting a vote for who you are. Every early morning, every disciplined choice, every day you show up, you're telling your future, I'm coming. And the beautiful thing is, it compounds. What feels small today becomes massive over time. Those 15 minutes of reading, that 1 hour of focus, that workout you didn't want to do, it adds up. One day you'll look up, and everything you stayed consistent in will be the very thing others call overnight success. But here's the truth, it was never overnight. It was built in silence, in struggle, in discipline. It was built when you didn't quit. It was built when you wanted to take a break, but took a breath and kept going. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about not giving up. It's about being committed to the vision even when the results are invisible. So if you want to change the way you see yourself, change the way you act daily. Anchor yourself in habits that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. And remember, your breakthrough isn't in the big moment. It's in the little choices made over and over again. That's where confidence is built. That's where transformation lives, not in what you do once, but in what you do always.